David?
I think when we look at pay in future, the industry or the financial sector will look at it differently, away from what we used to look at it. I mean, before, I would separate two different elements of performance. One is driven by markets. The market just carry you up. It's a monetary phenomenon. It's a liquidity phenomenon. That part, I think, will be the emphasis a bit more, and will spread out more to other areas and to others people in the industry as well. I mean, like the back office, the risk people and all this, because usually back offices are not commanding the highest salaries. What command the highest salaries in the industry is salespeople, and also investment people. So, but sales is driven by market liquidities, and there may be something to the person who can sell more, but usually it's more a market movement than individuals' outstanding contribution. The other one I think will be the individual contribution, directly related to him, because he gives you the alpha, like the fund managers. You outperform the index, it's nothing. Benchmark is up 50%, you up 50%, but at that extra 5% or 10%, it is the individual's outperformance. And that may be more related in future directly to the pay, and will the emphasis less on the market movement. I think it's and also why I said this, because there will be more gradual more narrowing of the gap between the remuneration in the financial sectors and also other industries as we go by. Because this cannot be sustained, and then people will try to put some cap on some of the remunerations of the financial sector, as people need to be answerable to the downside risk. Because nowadays, when market is up, you get all the benefits. When market is down, nothing to do with you, because you have already, at most you got sacked, and that's it. But still, you do not need to compensate. They will look at it. The financial sector will look at this very closely, and also I think the U.S. government will also look at this. May not be initiated by the Hong Kong government or the regulators, but definitely from the U.S. and Europe.
Sure.
The other one is the individuals, how individuals approach it. I think nowadays the industry demand a lot of commitment. Unless you are totally committed to it, then you are not going to do well. And it demands you to work even hard. Before, in the 60s or in the 70s, when I joined the industry, I think it is one person's one job. It's now, 10 years ago, one person's doing two jobs, two people's job, and maybe now even one people doing three people's job. And you have to be able to withstand this pressure. People can easily burn out because companies strive for productivities, maximizing profits. So they will sacrifice employees in order to drive for profit maximization, in order to drive for the benefit of the senior management, in my view. The spread between senior management and also the junior staff will probably in time be narrow as well, because there will be repercussion from the staff and the workers, because the mental state of the workers, you may think people earn a much higher salary than what others, but in the actual fact, the mental state of the people working in the industry may deteriorate much more faster. And when after 10 years, quite a lot of them are burned out already.
I agree. Alvin, any words of wisdom?
Yeah, we all work for money, it's important. And I do agree with the panel is that the compensation system going forward for bankers will change. How it will change, I would say I don't know yet, but it will change. The good old days of quick money, investment banker, I'm pretty sure that is gone. But having said that, I think if you look to build a long-term career in the financial sectors, the reward is still reasonably good. The other thing I'd like to point out is that in addition to the passion, the commitment, and all that, which I'm sure you've heard many times, I'll add one more factor to this, and that is, do pay attention to what is happening around you in the city, in Hong Kong, and in the world. I think student tends to, keep a very narrow, some of the students, I should say, not all, a narrow perspective of what's happening in life. Like what TC said, what's happening in Shanghai has an impact on our daily life. Do it, pay attention, read the newspapers, and Time magazines, Newsweek. I told my kids every day, day in and day out, read the magazines, be aware of what's happening in the world. That would be useful for you.
Andrew?
Yeah, I tend to take a different perspective to the question. In our business and headhunting business, we look at people's learning agility, your ability to think for yourself, your ability to tell what you're really good at, what your really hidden talent is. Everybody's got a talent, but not everybody knows what their talent is until much later in their life. I think it's important for you to be able to know your strengths. I think it's important for you to be able to learn from past experience. It's important for you to learn more about yourself and about your leadership skills and your ability to adapt to new situations, because the paradigm has shifted. It's a different world out there. It's important for everybody to now ask himself that he should really, or she should really help himself or herself to knowing more about your ability by participating in more extracurricular activities, by participating in more exchange programs, and through this experience and through your interaction with people, be able to tell what you're really good at and develop along that line. And if you look at your president, John Leung, he was a doctor, but now he's a college president. So things change. It's important for you to learn from past experience, and we find that in the real world, most people succeed when they're able to learn and adapt and be quick on their feet and be able to see what the opportunities and think independently about for themselves. But obviously, a lot of young people nowadays, they don't want hardship. They don't want to leave their comfort of their home and their comfort zone. But that's the biggest personal challenge that you're all against, I think. But the world out there is changed. It's different now.
Okay, I think we could go on for another hour or 2 hours, but I think we already brought up a lot of interesting and useful issues and which aroused great discussions. I'd like to thank you all very much for taking the time to come to this forum. In particular, the 5 colleagues that I have on this panel. Really, thank you very much. Thank you.